Okay, so everybody has a couple of cork blocks, strap, a bolster, a blanket, happy face. And we are going to start with the block under the lower ribs on the second level. And let's take the second block underneath the head, same level. Maybe you'd like to bring a blanket or not. It's your decision. And then the third block is the strap. We've got the strap and we're taking it around the waist. Underneath the hip line. So we're starting on a slightly lower level. And that block is just touching the lower ribs. Now we can start to focus on the pelvis. So let's just feel the center of the buttocks. And then start to just connect with your breath. So we're early evening now, so let's start to slow the day down. Let's breathe together as we take a slow, smooth inhale. Take that breath right up into the upper chest. Allow the breath to explore the collarbone area. So don't be in a rush. Slow, smooth exhale. Try to follow all the way through the exhale so you can feel the exhale touch the sits bones. Hi. Come on out here, just take a spot. Grab yourself a couple of blocks, a blanket, a strap. We're just connecting with the breath, no rush. We're starting to let the day go and enjoy this breathing. So if we enjoy the breath will enjoy us. So as we breathe more deeply, we activate the left prefrontal cortex of the brain. So the more you breathe, the better you'll feel. Slow, deep breaths, just starting to let the day fall away. And we're starting on this lower level today on the block. So both of the blocks are on the lowest level. And we're just bringing the feet together. Starting to connect those four corners of the feet. See if you can feel the four corners. And then open and spread the toes. Start to explore what it means for your feet to engage, to start to bring those toes a little more to life. Hello! Come on and grab a spot. We're just starting in a supported back bend in Supta Baddha Konasana. We're opening the lower pelvic floor area as well as the upper chest. But primarily we focus now on starting to create space from the hip to the lower ribs in the front and from the lower ribs in the back down towards the buttocks. So we're lengthening this area, creating a little more space by bringing the soles of the feet together into Baddha Konasana and starting to work the pose. So in the early moments, we're focusing on the breath. The breath lifts through the crease of the arm and the chest, and the chin is soft to the chest. as we inhale, we're bringing new life, new energy to the body through that breath. Slow, smooth exhale. Start to connect with the sense of letting go. Start to feel what it means to let go through the exhale. So we're exploring the body's natural tool of letting go of whatever you don't need through the exhale. Letting that lifeless energy leave the body and letting new energy come through the inhale. Slow and smooth, feeling new life, new prana from the inhale. Feel the life. The life is a positive energy. And feel the letting go. The negative leaving because it no longer has any life. So release, allow it to pass out of the body. Feel the negative energy leave the body through the exhale. Especially because we're now at the end of the day. And we rebuild, letting something new come through that inhale. See if you can let your lower ribs softly release down towards your hips. And feel the center of the buttocks migrate towards those lower ribs. So feel that energy. Connecting the hips to the lower ribs. Letting the inhale lift through the crease of the armpit chest. So the upper thoracic spine lengthens through that crease of the armpit chest as you let it lengthen through the inhale. Letting just the back of the shoulders softly release away from the ears on the exhale. But that sense of lift and length through the front body continues through the exhale. Only the shoulders release down and away from the ears. Feeling the four corners of the feet, the toes spread wide. Let's feel those thighs rolling out, rolling away from each other as though they were lengthening towards the inner knees. So there's a tucking action. Feel that action of scooping and tucking the pelvis, the sit bones, the tailbone in and under. But there's a second action required so that we move from the hip bone along the top of the thigh out through the kneecaps. So that action of lengthening from the hip along the top of the thighs out through the knees releases the knees down, releases the legs down. So that's a double second action that helps to take the hip bones forward, away from the lower ribs to create more space in the front body. And this movement of the hip bones away from the ribs creates space from the lower ribs to the buttocks in the back. So there's both a tucking and an untucking action to isolate and pelvic floor, the 3 layers of the pelvic floor. Good job, everybody. So we're going to make our way up here, and we're coming down one more level. So let's move everything off to the side. If you have sensitive feet or ankles, feel free to support the outer ankles. I prefer no support, but often it can be recommended to take the blanket over the tops of the feet and then go lying back and taking the feet down. And you can see the outer legs are nicely supported. So that's all work from here. Let's come back down now without the blocks. And let's continue that same work. So this is a very important action for the hips. And you can see this body here, the lower back is really hyperextending. So there's lots of work here. Lots of work. So let's find those actions that we were working on previously. Let's feel a sense of tucking the sits bones, scooping the tailbone in and under as the thighs roll out. Sometimes it even helps to bring your hands to the thighs, and that resistance brings the mind to that area, and we can focus a little more deeply on that area. To bring a little life. That touch brings life to that area that may not have any sensation. And then let's start to draw the lower ribs down towards the hips and the belly down towards the floor. The lower back down towards the floor. The lower ribs to the hips. Move away from the lower ribs by lengthening from the hip along the top of the thigh out through the kneecaps. Breathe deeply, everybody. Full body breaths. Tuck that right sits bone, and then without releasing the right sits bone, tuck the left sits bone in and under, tuck, tuck, tuck. And then see if you can tuck both of the sits bones in and under together. Feeling those thighs roll out, and the thighs lengthening through the top to release the knees microscopically a little further down towards the floor. Breathing deeply to let the mind go. To create space in the body through the breath. Drop of that breath. So try to go right to the very end. It's those last moments where the juice is. bones along the tops of the thighs, out through the kneecaps. Very nice, sit down everybody. So let's start to make our way up. If you have the blanket, just returning the blanket to the happy rectangular. And then let's move the belt buckle away from us and just remove the strap here. And let's just cross the and just pull forward. Just pull forward here. If you can use your hands and press your hips to the floor. And then let the inhale lift through the crease of the armpit chest. So somebody asked for a little stretch in the lower back, so we're going to do that as well. Walk your hands as far forward as you can. If you can drop your shoulders down. Let's walk the hands over to the left and let's bring the forehead to that left knee. So that right sits bone is tucking in and under, and again we're lifting and lengthening through the side body, through the crease of the armpit chest. Breathe deeply, full body breaths. Good job. Let's walk the hands through center and over to the right. So let's tuck that left sit bone in and under, lift and lengthen through the side body. So let the breath lead the effort here. Try to soften that dialogue, that ongoing conversation, and just focus on your breath. Let's slowly walk the hands in. Good. And then let's just lift the knees and change the length. And just come forward. Pressing your palms. See if you can drop those hips a little further to the floor. So grip the floor with the sits bones. Scoop those sits bones in and under to try and grip the floor. And then lift through the crease of the armpit. So feel a sense of the length coming through the sides of the body. So resist moving from the center of the back. We don't want to jam the sacrum into the lower back. So we work from the sides of the body. Fullness in the breath. Breathe deeply. Let your mind go. Good. Let's walk the hands over to the right. So press your left sit bone, tuck it in and under. Lift through the crease of the armpit chest. And lift and lengthen. Shoulders down away from the ears. Let's walk the hands through center and over to the left. So tuck that right sits bone. Scoop it in and grow roots down through the earth. lift through the crease of the armpit chest. So feel the length come through the side body, shoulders down away from the ears. Let's walk the hands back through center. And let's come on up. And let's straighten the legs. So just come into Dandasana. Typically we want to support underneath the sit bones if we cannot sit up straight, which means that the spine is coming into extension. Otherwise sit on a blanket. You might need a strap. So let's just fold forward into Paschimottanasana. Grabbing the outsides of the feet, try to reach through the ball of the feet and spread the toes wide. So press the backs of the thighs to the floor, lifting up through the kneecaps. So not a small order, how to get those thighs down. See if you can reach a little bit further forward to the balls of the feet, and you will feel the backs of those thighs drop. It's a miracle. And then let's release. Let's take the right hand and just lift that knee up. Grab your block. And let's roll that right thigh out. So roll the right thigh out, look to the right. You can see how I'm leaning to the right, finding that external rotation in the Baddha Konasana leg. And then let's start to turn the torso. So I grab my right ribs with my left hand to start to turn the torso, not the shoulders. So the shoulder stays down, the crease of the armpit chest lifts, and then we turn the belly and the right ribs to the inner left thigh and start to hinge over the hip if we can, and take the left hand to the outer left foot. So keep that right thigh rolling back. So the right thigh is rolling out, but we are also lengthening from that hip bone along the thigh, as though you were pointing that right knee. Maybe you can scoop that right sit bone in and under by drawing that outer right buttocks cheek in. And if you think you can maintain that all, reach your right hand forward. Let's press down to the back of the left thigh, lift through the crease of the armpit chest. Slow, deep breaths. Try to lift and lengthen through the sides of the body. Right ribs are turning towards the inner left thigh, belly towards the inner left thigh. Shoulders down away from the ears. And then this hinge at this hip becomes a happening. It just eventually starts to take place through the journey of the breath. We're so Canadian, aren't we? Oh, I'm sorry. Alright, let's come on up. Good job, everybody. So let's lift the knee up and do the other side. So lift that left thigh from the inner left thigh to open the leg, keeping the knee closed. And we do our best to have the hips heading straight forward so the hips don't get confused at this stage. And then let's roll the left thigh, roll it out, start to feel what it means for that left thigh to externally rotate. So I lean into that left thigh, the right leg is fully active. And then we start to turn, turn, turn. And then the right hand to the left ribs to give it a little more assistance. The belly is reaching towards that thigh. Turn, turn, turn. Shoulders down. Crease of the armpit just up. And then we reach the right hand to the outer right foot without losing that left external rotation. So press down through the back of that right thigh and then lift up. See if you can reach the ball of the right foot a little further forward to drop that thigh down. And then using the momentum, lift up and over the thigh, lengthening through the crease of the armpit chest. And if all is good, reach your left hand to meet the right. And then just let it be a happening. Let the breath lead the effort. Let the mind go. And if the mind insists, or resist, then insist. Insist the mind. Let go of the effort here. Insist upon it. Just breathe deeply. Enjoy your breath. Out to the side, and let's take the block to the inner right ankle. And that's again, continue that external rotation of the left thigh. Let's walk the block as far forward as you can. And then let's reach the left hand up, 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 and over. Good job. Nicely done, everybody. So let's press the back of that right thigh down. Lift your belly through the sides of the body. Very nice. Everybody got a little extra inch there. That was very nicely done. So you see how as you press down to the back of that right thigh and then just use those side transverse muscles to lift through the side of the body. It's not an easy thing to do. The abdominals are what are working here. And we're stretching from the hip to the underarm, on the left and the right. All right, slowly lift back up. Feel the release of tension. Nice, alright, let's change sides. So it's a slow drift to let go of that tension. But I see we are already making some progress here. So let's take the block to the inner left ankle and try to keep that right thigh rolling out, rolling out, rolling out as we start to walk that block away. Pressing down to the back of the left thigh, the foot is flexed, the toes are open, the ball of the foot reaches slightly forward to release this left thigh down. And then let's reach the right arm up. So feel that leg come through the side of the body as we lift up, slowly taking the right hand over to the left. So the more you keep that right elbow up, the better. But it's a challenge, so just look at it as an enjoyable challenge. And then maybe take the right hand even further to the left. So lengthening through that right lateral side body. And it is very much a happening. The breath He's creating the space, and as much as the mind would like to be controlling the situation, it's the breath that is leading the way. So in this moment, we become the witness a happening. Nice moment of surrender. Let's slowly lift up. Feel the release. Great job, guys. Okay, so let's cross the ankles. And let's take a downward dog. But let's bring the body first into Adho Mukha Virasana, so the child's pose with the arms extended forward. Feet together, knees wide. And let's lift the belly. Lift through the crease of the armpit chest, so feel the armpit chest reaching towards the palms. Lower ribs to the pelvis. Sit bones to the heels. Outer forearms draw in. And if you have some time, maybe supporting the head, or if you can easily bring the head to the floor. But again, the breath is leading the effort here, and you'll find that progress can be made in a short period of time, lingering in this pose. Let's slowly lift the hips. Let's draw the outer forearms down as the shoulders draw away from the ears, and then draw those outer forearms in as though you were gripping a block. Let's tuck the toes in and under, lift the sit bones, and just right away look at your toes. Make sure that those feet are parallel to the outer mat, and then let's lift the kneecaps up and press the heels down. So it never hurts to take a look at where your hands and feet are in relation to your mat to make sure that you are not creating or furthering an imbalance on one side, and simply taking a little look can give you a lot of information. So let's lift those kneecaps, lift the tops of the thighs now. And as you stretch your toes forward, let's press the heels down. So the outer heels are starting to look for the mat. See if you can start to work the outer heel down towards the mat. So to help with this, without letting your hips come forward, without letting your sacrum come forward, gently lift your heels slowly. So try not to let the hips come forward. So we're pulling the hips back as we lift the heels, and then taking the heels down towards the floor again. Feeling that length come through the sides of the body, shoulders down away from the ears, outer forearms in. Nicely done, everybody. Let's drop the knees down. And let's just sit inside the ankles if you can, and take your hands underneath the tops of your feet. And let's just tip forward here, stretching through the tops of the feet, pressing through the tops of the ankles. See if you can create this sense of trying to lift your knees up as you press through the tops of the ankles. So the sits bones would be tucking in and under to create that action of lifting the knees. Very nice. Okay, so we're going to continue on here. So some of you will need to come and sit on the block and or have a couple of blocks. So Simon, that might be an idea for you. We're going to extend the right leg forward, and we're coming into Triangle Kapata Paschimottanasana. If you can come and sit flat, feel free, or maybe you need sort of a back support, so you might take your blanket underneath that right sits bone. The idea is that you want the hips roughly level, and you don't want that knee spraying out to the side. So the foot is just on the outer left hip, and see if you can bring your right leg so that this right leg is in Dandasana. That's it. So I'm untucking this right sits bone, and see if you can start to fold forward here. That's it. Try to flex your right foot and grow. So we see this, do you guys see this one on the Olympics? You know how everybody's lying on the ground and they've got one leg tucked in and under and the other leg is forward. And sometimes they have the knee sprayed way out. But this is a great pose, I think. So that right thigh, kneecap are lifting up. The ball of that right foot is reaching ever so slightly forward to release the back of that right thigh to the floor. The inner left groin is dropping down. And we're lifting the belly, lifting up and over the thigh to create that deeper hinge in the hip. Atta girl. Good choice. Lift your belly, lift through the crease of the armpit chest. Let the breath lead the effort. Great job, you guys. So let's slowly come up. So we're just having a little fun here, right? Let's take the right hand to the inner right thigh. Let's lift the leg, and then from the ankle, see if you can take that ankle up towards that left hip. And then let's take the left hand. Some of you might need a block behind. Let's take the left hand and flex that left hand like so, the left hand, and we just dig it into that outer right thigh, so that right knee is coming forward, and then we lift through the armpit chest, looking to the right. Ooh, you can hear the rain, eh? So lift and twist, lift and twist. This gives you a little traction by flexing the hand, the arm is straight, shoulders down. So we're just warming up for the grand finale here, alright? Just a little fun. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit tricky, alright? Let's slowly release. And let's bring that right foot to the floor, just like so. And point your right foot and open your left knee. So draw that left knee, drag your left foot back. So you can see how, and bend your right knee, bend your right leg. Bring it in more, your whole foot. Let it grow, good. So you can see how this left hip is higher than the right if you're not sitting on a block. So Simon, you want to make sure that the block is underneath the right sits bone mainly, okay? So if you feel that your left hip is higher than your right, you guys are okay. But you can see my hip is slightly higher. So we're going to do a couple of new things today. Alright, so see if you can get your knees in line with each other so they're on the same axis. Let's point that right foot and try and keep that left foot behind. Good. So the hips are in line, they're on the same axis. And we're going to fold forward. So you can see I'm pretty limited here. Yeah, just take your arms forward. Now if you can, and you've got a couple of blocks or a bolster or 2 blocks, feel free to support your forehead. Some of you need like 3 bolsters and 2 blocks, but that's okay. But let's just start here. So let's just walk the hands forward. So we're pointing that right foot so that that inner right ankle, the instep of that inner right ankle is coming forward to lengthen. And this right sits bone is tucking in and under, and we're trying to theoretically drag it over to the left. Actually, I'll take that back. This right sits bone may be untucking. And the left sits bone is tucking in and under. So we would be dragging everything over to the right. I apologize for the confusion. So think about untucking that right sits bone and tucking the left. And dragging both of those sits bones to the right. See if you can walk your hands a little further forward. And then let's slowly walk the hands in. Good job, everybody. Interesting? Yeah. Okay, good. So let's take Dandasana here. Let's stretch the legs forward. That's it. Just moving your sits bones, stretching the legs forward. And then let's fold forward and just take Paschimottanasana for a moment. Good job, you guys. And then let's release. So some of you are going to need to sit on something, so you can either bring your right leg immediately in and under, or maybe bring a block underneath the left sits bone, or a blanket. The 2 sides may not be the same. The important part is that we want to have those hips level. Good, and try and bring your knee in. And don't have your right foot sticking out like so. And then let's start to fold forward. If you have a hamstring injury of any sort, taking that leg out to the side can release. So we don't want to head into the pain, we want to move away from the pain. So that you start to work all of the muscles outside of that area of aggravation, and then you slowly work inward as we progress. See if you can flex your left foot, honey. Now try and take that right foot in and under. Is it killing you? Not a girl. Good. Yeah, I know. So you should technically sit higher. Grab
okay.
a second blanket for certain. Yes. You know, feel free to go higher, right? You'll enjoy it more. Yep. It's getting better, right? So you can see even a second blanket would. Here, why don't you take this one? Go a little higher. And then and then you can, yeah, that girl, now get that foot back. Yeah, that's much better already. And then flex that foot. Good girl. Good. And then let's fold forward here. So lifting the left thigh. Creating that crease from the hip as we lift and lengthen through the front of the body, from the crease of the side, armpit, chest. Just respecting that lower back, so we're not jamming anything into the lower back. We're just giving it a little stretch. So over time, if you let your mind go a little and let the breath really rule, progress starts to just happen. We start to feel micro changes. And this is where this happening is taking place. And it's an enjoyable place. And then let's slowly come up. And let's take that left inner thigh from the ankle. Let's take the ankle up. And let's take the block behind if you need it. And then let's engage that right arm and just twist. Good. So this is a tricky one. I know. You know, the first time I did this, we were in New Orleans, and I couldn't do it. I fell over. I couldn't keep my balance. So don't let the mind give you too much feedback. Just explore whatever the twist means to you at this moment. Do your best, and that's enough. That's all you can do. So worry less about the outcome and more about the effort in the moment. So we explored a few advanced concepts. Don't panic, Simon. The good news is we have a few more things to do. But we gotta do new stuff, right? Once in a while. Right on, guys. All right. Okay. So let's let that foot come to the floor. Oh, right is your knee end under and open your knees. So come on up, honey. Go like this. Come and kneel like this. That girl. So, and then just take your right knee out like this. Right knee out like that. That's it. And then sit on the left hip. And point the left foot if you can. And if it's too much, don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. So one leg is in that easy seated, and one leg is in Virasana, right? And then we fold forward. So just making sure that everything's in line and making sure that your hips are level. You can see this left hip is a little low, so it could do with a little more love. And you can see I've got a pretty big stack here to fold forward, right? Atta girl, good. So what's happening here, as I mentioned, is this right leg's in Virasana, and this leg is in swastikasana. The hips are moving in different directions, so it's really cool what's happening to the pelvic floor. So just let your breath lead the effort. How are you doing there at the end? You all right there? You good? Yeah. Cool. So we can do all sorts of funky twists afterwards in this pose, but I think we're here tonight. All right, everybody, do me a favor, except for the girl at the end. Take your right foot and try and draw it in a little. Draw that right foot in. So it's untucking. That's it. Nicely done. Very nicely done, everybody. See if you can walk your hands a little bit further forward. Great job, everybody. All right, the hard part's over. Let's slowly come up. Good job. Let's just move everything off to the side. Just come forward, and let's slide the right knee forward and the left leg back. And just fold forward into a thigh stretch here. So lift through the sides of the body, lengthening through the front, shoulders down away from the ears. And then let's slowly lift back up. Let's slide the right knee back. And let's take the left knee forward. Then let's slide the left leg back so we come on to belly. And just bring your elbows so they're underneath your shoulders. Let's bring the feet together to start and pressing into the tops of the feet. Let's lift the knees. And now let's draw the back of the forearms straight back, pressing into the elbows. Lift through the crease of the armpit chest. Try to let your hips and pelvis drop down as the kneecaps lift. Atta girl. So draw the back of those forearms straight back. See if you can squeeze your inner shoulder blades together. Lift through the crease of the armpit chest, pressing through the forearms and the elbows. Good. And then let's bend the legs and let's catch the outer ankles. Let's flex the feet and let's lift the thighs. Good. Flex your feet. So work those feet. Flex those feet. That's it. Breathe, everybody. Try to lift through the crease of the armpit chest. Flex your feet to lift the thighs. Flex your feet to lift the thighs. And then let's slowly release. Let's press through the lower ribs as we come up through table. And let's come up and use the ropes. What do you say, everybody? Yeah, let's take the downward dog with the ropes. The well-earned downward dog, I'd say. So let's just cross the ropes. Right foot through the ropes and holding with the left hand. And then let's take the left foot through the left. Coming forward. Let's take the heels to the wall. And walk the hands forward. So let's all press to the backs of the heels and lift your chest towards your hands. Lower ribs draw towards the pelvis. So as you try to draw your lower ribs to your hips, be sure you're continuing to press with the backs of the heels and reach the chest forward. And now let's tuck those sits bones down to the heels, pressing through those heels even deeper. See if you can create that sense of lifting and lengthening your toes. Let the breath lead the effort if you can. Let the mind go. Enjoy the movement the breath brings to the body. Press through your heels. Try to stretch the armpit chest to your fingertips. And then let's walk the fingertips forward, stretching just a little further, pressing through the heels. Good, and then let's walk the hands to the feet, feet to the hands. And let's slowly make our way up here. Whew, how's everybody doing? Good? Alright. Let's take the blanket and bring it with the creases of the edges right against the wall. And let's bring the blocks onto their highest level, and let's come down to the knees and bring that right knee to the wall as you slide the knee down. And then let's step the left foot forward, looking ridiculously happy. So this is a killer, right? So we are starting to work to tuck this right sits bone in and under. And then we start to come and lift up if we can. Ooh. Great job, everybody. Really nicely done. So I know this is a killer. I remember the first time I did this pose, I had to come out immediately. It was just such a shock. Yeah. So you can see how hard, look at Simon, he's got his hips almost right against the wall. Okay, see if you can now come a little further back and reach your arms up or not. So there's a lot going on here. See if you can drop your lower ribs to your hips. Take a break whenever you need to. So those quadriceps and hip flexors are really tight on you. You might do. Yeah. So let's say we just linger here. Yeah. Have a little fun. Yeah. Woo. I know, sometimes it just feels altogether unacceptable, doesn't it? Yeah. That's it. Take a break. That's it. And then you can maybe join us again, or not. All right. So the second part of this, maybe we'll skip it today. I think we will. Let's come down. Everybody, nicely done. Let's bring the left knee down, and then let's bring the right knee forward. You can see the quads and hip flexors are really tight, right? So that's why back bending is so difficult. And the tension is here. It's here. Okay, let's go again. Let's bring the left knee to the wall, sliding it down, and then let's try to do our best to bring the right foot forward. And that left foot is just on the outer left hip as we take the hips to the wall. Oh my gosh. So we're tucking the left sits bone this time. And you can see how I just took my left hand to the heel and I'm pressing that heel down. That makes the action even deeper in that left sits bone. Lift your belly. So this right sits bone is drawing to the inner left thigh. Maybe reach your arms up. I could almost just hang here. It makes it easier. Woo. Okay, great job, everybody. And then let's slowly release. Let's take the right knee down and bring the left knee forward. Good job. All right, let's check. Let's see what the time is here. Okay, so we're just going to do one more pose today. Supapadagastasana, my favorite pose. And we're going to just bring the feet to the wall, like so. And let's have the bolster and bring it over to the right, so that when we open the leg out to the side, we can support the leg. So I'm really bringing this bolster right up to my outer right hip, and I have my knee slightly bent. And then let's take the strap in two hands. So I'm just closing my loop off. And let's take the strap around the ball of the right foot, and let's start here so that the shoulders and the elbows are on the floor. And the left heel is pressing to the wall. So just press to the back of the forearms and lift again through that crease of the armpit chest. So We have a slight back bend here. We can feel the center of the buttocks. Resist pulling on the strap. So we don't want to pull the right hip up. We want to pull the right hip down towards the inner left heel. So that's all. Pull that right hip down towards the left heel actively so that the right side of the body is the same length as the left. And we are working from the center of the buttocks. The grip is nice and easy here, nice and easy. So if your knee is bent, try to lengthen your strap and so the leg will become straight, because we want that right hip to draw first towards the left heel so that both sides of the spine are equal, and then let that right hip and sits bone be heavy as we intelligize the leg, reaching up through the heel, through the ball of the foot. So try to do your best to get that leg straight and let that right hip drop to the floor. And then intelligize that leg. So press to the back of the forearm so you're not using your neck and shoulders. Good job. So here's the fun part. See if you can let go of the strap. And just keep that right leg there, pressing through the left heel. Work from the center of the buttocks. Resist lifting that right hip. So you want to wrap that right thigh, adhere the muscle to the bone. Pull that right hip to the left heel. Great job, everybody. So if you just can't bear it any longer, feel free to grab the strap. Good job. All right, that's all. Grab the strap again. And now let's take the right hand as far down towards that right foot as you can, grabbing the strap. And let's take the left arm out to the side so that the bicep is drawing down and the tricep is reaching up. And let's open that right leg out to the side so the right outer leg thigh is supported by the bolster. So you want to keep the left side of the body cutting the floor like a knife. And that's why we need that support underneath the outer right leg so that we don't lose the left side of the body. So both sides are working together here. We can feel the center of the buttocks, we hope. And you can see them even slightly tilting to the right. So the more support, the better. So that you can feel that left side of the body cutting the floor like a knife. And then we start to reach the inner right thigh to the knee, the inner right shin to the inner right ankle. We're lifting through the sides of the armpit chest, pressing the left heel to the wall, taking the back of the left thigh down. Biceps draw down, triceps draw up, and the palm faces up. Press and reach through your heels, everybody. See if you can do this now. From the center of the buttocks, in a sense of union, in a sense of yoga. So everything's working together now. That's very nicely done, everybody. Let's take the right leg back up through center, and keeping that right hip heavy, just take the right foot over to the left just for a moment. Feel the outer stretch, so the right hip is drawing down. The hip is heavy. And then let's take the leg to center. So let's bend the knee here and just release the strap. Let's take the hands behind the back of the right thigh as you press through the left heel. So tuck the right sits bone in and under, lift through that side, armpit chest. Try to keep the back of that left thigh drawing down. So as you tuck the right sits bone, press through the left heel. Shoulders are relaxing down away from the ears. And then let's see if we can take the right hand to the outer right foot, and that right knee is turning towards the armpit. So the right shoulder blade and the right thigh eventually come to the floor on the right side. Stacking the right ankle above the knee, that right foot is flat to the ceiling. So feel that right shoulder blade draw down, feel the right thigh draw down, press to the back of the left thigh. So feel the center of your buttocks, everybody. Let your breath lead the way, let the crease of the side body lift, chin is soft. So maybe at some point you might need something underneath the back of your head if this is a stretch. Very nice, everybody. Let's take the right foot back to meet the left, and let's interlace the hands as we reach the hands overhead, pressing your heels to the wall. Let's tuck the sits bones in and under. So tuck, tuck, tuck. Press the backs of the thighs down to the floor. Take that stretch. Press through your heels. Really press through your heels and reach your hands in the opposite direction, lifting your belly, lower ribs to the hips, armpit chest to the hands. And then let's release, and let's take the bolster over to the left. So just roll it over the body to the left. And if you've lost that grip with your heels to the wall, just bend your knees slightly and scooch a little further forward. You can always move away. And then let's take the strap around the ball of the left foot. Let's take the elbows and forearms to the floor. And let's pull that left hip away from the left lower ribs towards the inner right heel, so that that left side is the same length as the right. So find the center of your buttocks, pressing through those forearms. Lift through the crease of the armpit chest. The upper chest comes into that back bend. And we do our best not to grip the strap. Don't pull the foot, because that will pull and lift the hip. We don't want to torque that left SI joint. You don't want to cause the lower back any trouble through this pose. So as this left hip draws towards the right heel, we can let it drop to the floor, let it be heavy, and then reach up through the left heel. So we intelligize the leg. Each cell is intelligized. Each cell has DNA. So we're bringing that leg to life from the bone, wrapping the muscles tighter and tighter to that bone. So eventually we let go of that strap more and more until we no longer even hold the strap, and that left leg just floats in the air, pressing out through both heels. So that armpit chest is still lifting. So if you feel the center of your buttocks. You got it very nicely done here. So this is when we take that left arm and reach to the left foot. And make sure that bolster is nice and supported to the outer left thigh. Let's open the right arm out to the side so the bicep turns down and the tricep turns up. And let's open the left leg out without letting that right side lift. So let's keep the right side maintained as we open the left leg out to the side. So those right ribs, the right side of the body is cutting the floor like a knife. Feel the right side of your sacrum. So that's the ticket, to look for that right side of the sacrum. Breathe deeply, everybody. Full body breaths. See if you can feel your inner left thigh reach towards the inner left knee, continuing to work that left leg. So everything is open. Open, open, open. The mind is open without thought. Good job, everybody. Let's take that left leg back through center and slightly to the right here just for a moment, just so you can feel that outer left hip drop down and the stretch through the outer left hip. Good. And then let's bend the knee. And just move the strap as you take the hand behind the back of the left thigh, tucking the left sits bone in and under as you press through the right heel. So try to take that back right thigh down. And then tuck the left sits bone in and under to draw the thigh into the chest. Try not to use your arms. Feel the center of the buttocks growing roots through the earth. So feel the right side of your sacrum, feel the center, feel the left side of the sacrum. Feel that outer right buttocks cheek, draw slightly in so that gluteus medius is nice and engaged. The thighs wrapping around the bone. And then see if you can take that left outer foot and draw the shoulder blade down, draw the left thigh down as you press through the right heel. Let the crease of the armpit chest lift. Try to feel the center of your buttocks if that's possible. Good job, you guys. Really nicely done. So we're going to take the right leg and grab the outer right foot as well. But most of us will need some support, at least underneath the head, maybe even the upper back, as you take your hands inside the legs to try and grab the outer feet and draw the thighs to the floor. And then we work to take the sits bones down. Reaching the sits bones towards the wall, taking the sacrum down to the floor. Shoulders down away from the ears. And whenever you feel ready to release, you're going to come off your props and just gently roll to your right. And let's take one final downward dog. Good job, everybody. So measure the distance between your hands and feet. Imagine Mukha Virasana, knees wide, feet together, arms extended forward. Take a moment and then lift your hips, tuck your toes in and under. Lift your kneecaps, see if you can press your hands and pull your hips back. So lengthen through the sides of the body. And then do your best without bringing your hips forward. Try to lift your heels. So take a moment, lift your heels slightly, and then pull your hips back. Lift your heels a little further, pull your hips back. And then take your heels down, lengthening even further through the sides of the body, shoulders away from the ears, outer forearms in, outer hips in. And then whenever you feel ready, let's drop the knees down and let's take a short shavasana. Good job, everybody. So when everybody was hitting their fridges, because it's kind of dreary and wet out tonight, we can all feel pretty good that we just did a little extra tonight. Good job. So let's just lie on our back. Take a moment, tuck your shoulder blades in and under, and then just extend the legs long. So they just turn slightly out. The legs aren't super wide. And then let the mind be still here. Close the eyes. And feel the peace you've created. Feel the stillness. So in this moment of stillness, we can feel a place of being reborn. There's a newness that has come. If you notice, life feels a little more deep, a little more passionate, because you've just spent a great chunk of time being connected, completely present, where the mind starts to let go and the creative juices start to roll. So the mind must be still in order for us to connect with that deep place of creativity. So just thank yourself for that effort. That commitment to bringing something new and letting go of whatever it is you no longer need. Just letting any last negative energy flow up and out through the third eye and out through the crown of the head. Letting the mind be completely still now in this place of observation. Let's bring the hands to the belly. And gently drawing your knees to your chest. Let's roll to the right. Using your left hand and your right elbow to press you up. Let's bring our hands into prayer. Thank you all. Good job. Namaste. Yeah, that was really nice. All right, you got it. Nicely done.